Okay. Hi, everybody. Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. Welcome to the Longarm machine. I need to get some quilting done. I will put you on the machine momentarily. We're just waiting for people to join. So while we wait for people to join, I'm going to advance the quilt and do that kind of stuff because it needs to get done before I even start quilting, because I have made it to the halfway point of this quilt. I will show you the quilt in 2 seconds before I advance it, but I have made it to the halfway point, and I figured, well, why not? Since we're talking about it in 2 videos now, I figure I'll show you guys my wonky, weird quilt. I mean, it's not weird, it's an amazing quilt, but it's on the wonky side. So let's show you what the quilt looks like and show you what I mean about wonky. So it's a star with a star around it. I don't know the name of this exact quilt, but you can already see just by looking at it. You see how it's puckering and pulling and yanking? Just by looking at it, you can see it, and the excess fabric that's filling in and the way it pulls. It's not a flat quilt. Like I said, it's kind of on the wonky side. It's a beautiful quilt, but it's been a tough one to quilt up because of its wonkiness. And like, it's got giant, this is like, I don't know, huge seams that all come into one spot. I can't go over those. I try to get them as flat as possible, but all this is very full and saggy. As you can tell, the quilt is flat on the top part where I quilted, but look at this. All this has to be pulled in. This is yanking and has to be straightened, but no matter which way I go with it, it's, you know, I have to be very careful and cautious how I quilt this one. So you can see me yanking on it and it doesn't straighten it. So quilting is the only way to get this to be a flat quilt. So I'm going to go ahead now and leave you off of the mount for a second while I advance the quilt and get it situated to start for today. So you'll get a lot of me not talking for a moment while I situate things. Oh, let me show what I'm quilting in these sections real quick. I totally spaced that. So I'm doing a whole entire pebbles and feather kind of deal, fancy quilting. Then in the stars, they're getting this. And then in the star itself, the center star, it's getting a curve. And I'm changing thread color. So the thread has been changed per each color. This one's robin egg, this one's steel blue. This one is a peppermint, daisy, and then black in the black section. And yeah, that's it. Those are the colors that I'm using. So that's what I'm quilting in this thing. And then the outer sides are also getting quilted right here. And then the border, I can't do nothing with it now. I'm just going to tack it down because now I'm at the part of the border where I have to start from the bottom up, because in the center, about this much of the section, it's off, like the amount, and I want them to be equal. So I'm going to stitch up to it, and I'll have my gap, and I'll do the gap thing I did on the top and then in the bottom. All right, there we go. Now I showed you everything that I have currently done. All right, advancing time. My throat space is getting smaller and smaller each time with the amount of space that I can actually get in here. I do have 2 layers of batting going on. I have a layer of black cotton and then a layer of white poly that's 4 ounce. It's really thick, as you can see. That way it really, really pulls up any and all imperfections in this quilt. It is on a black with a leafy back fabric. Just straightening everything up. Move this. This is all a mix of ruler and regular quilting also. Put that right there. So I'm going to do my stretching that I've been doing because I have to get this basted I'm going to start basting it over here. Also, I'm not switching the bobbin color, just the top color when I'm working on this. I'm only changing the top thread, not the bobbin, because my tension is rather good at this point, so I can have black in the bobbin and whatever color on the top, and it's working pretty good. So I just did some pulling and tugging to baste my side down. Pretty sure you can see what I'm doing over here from over there. All right, and then what I'm going to do is make whatever I can make its way over this way. You can see all this fullness that's going to have to get sucked in. I told you I was going to be on the more of the heavier fullness today. It's pretty bad. It's not straight by no means. All right, so I'm going to give this a nice tug and baste this side. I am keeping it straight, however. I'm not making this go crooked. I'm keeping it straight the whole time, all the way down, so it's coming at me nice and straight. I've had to do this on some client quilts too before in the past. This is by far the worst quilt, though, that I think I have ever quilted in all of my quilting journey, which is, 8 of my I'm almost at 10 years, so almost 9 years of long arm quilting. Pretty much in that time, this is the worst quilt I've ever done, I think. Puckering and all that wise. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm quilting at 10 stitches per inch. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on the mount so that you can watch my stitching. If I can get this off of here without killing you guys with movement. All right. Remember, it does shake a little on the frame. So if you have weary eyes, I guess this isn't the video for you. Only because the machine makes it shake. So it's hard to see my black thread, but I'm stitching in the ditch. Can you see how it's pulling and all those white threads? Do you see that? This person pieced it with white threads. This quilt is 87 by 87. The person that pieced it used white thread and not black. I highly recommend, as a 100% tip for all beginners, if you're going to make a quilt with black fabric, use black thread because it's 100% seeable when any seam or anything gets pulled on. But if you also look, this is more than a 2.5 stitch length. If you see every single one of these stitches, this is a pretty gappy stitch length that they use. And I could have took the whole thing apart and, stitched it myself with something else. But yeah, I didn't because there's a lot of piecing here. But I could have took it apart and fixed it first, but I decided to just quilt it. So I'm just stitching in the ditch, trying to stay off of this pink. I'm not quilting in the pink. I mean, not at least yet. I don't know what. I tried to do a circle-y thing in it earlier. Well, not today, but when I first started, and I was like, nah, I don't like that. So I picked it out, and I haven't stitched anything else in it since. See, every time I quilt, it's just pulling those seams open more and more. See that? All that white? I don't know if you can see it, but it's very, very visible to me. It is puckering open those seams like crazy. All right, I'm going to do the sides first real quick, and then I'm going to come back and do these because they don't fit in my throat space fully. And then I'm going to try to get all these black sections done. So there's going to be a lot of rolling back and forth to get all this done. So I'm going to go this side and do the stitch in the ditch on this outer part first. Ended right there. Trying to stay in the black only and not in the pink. It's landing so perfectly in the ditch though. You could kind of see how it's bowing just ever so slightly. That'll all loosen up hopefully once it's relieved from the frame. And it'll look like it's a lot straighter than it really is. I'm also getting seam threads along the way. All right. I'm going to try to help some of this fullness real quick by smoothing this out, and I'm going to start right here. Here I go. I'm going to go up here. Then I'm going to do my angle first, and then I'll advance or unload the quilt a little, and then get that top section. So I'll start with the bottom first. And I got some pulling and smushing to do along the way. All right. And I have been starting and stopping quite a bit throughout this because there's no other way around it. All right, so I'm gonna loosen the quilt a little, get the rest of that section since it doesn't fit in my throat space. Come down. And re-put it back again. There's a lot of back and forth when doing stuff like this that's not fitting for the area. All right, that's where I started. I'm gonna actually detach the thread. Like I said, lots of starts and stops. Now I'm going to find me a curve real quick. I don't remember if was it this curve. Yeah, it's not fully this curve, but I make it work. Only in the black. You can see I move my ruler along with me. And now I'm going to do some pebbling because that's what I'm doing in the sections, all these sections. Oops, I quilted into the blue. I'm slow with pebbling because it takes forever to do. The whole quilting thing takes me forever when I custom quilt. Quilts can take hours upon hours. Oh, Marilyn, thank you very much. I always hold the quilt with my hand on it, if you guys are curious, and I quilt one-handed. And that is because the quilt shakes, even with the ruler base, and it distorts my eyeballs, so I'm a one-handed quilter. All right, now I'm going to go around these guys and do the thing that I'm doing with those. I think I need to just make it, well, I'll do this first. See if I got to adjust it to get all of it at once. see if I can. This might be good right here. Let's see. I'm just stitching in the ditch. Now you can see why I added that really puffy batting to help this a little. You can still see I'm going to have a little bit of almost puckering right there, but I'm trying to quilt it out. I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, but it's there. All right, so I'm going to go up real quick. All right, now I'm going to do my design that I'm doing in here. Oops, I went into the black. I don't like that, and I'm going to pick that. I know it. I'm trying to be good about this because I want to enter it into a show. So I want it to be as good as I can get it. I don't want my stitching in the colors that it's not supposed to be. Just takes a second to get these stitches. I am stitching at 10 stitches per inch, so it's a little bit easier for me to rip out if I have to. I'm being very particular here. There we go. Come on, grab it. There we go. I'll get that. Oh, there it comes. Restart this right here real quick. Easy fix. Pay attention now. That's what I just need to do. Pay attention. Here. I'm lining it up so that I'm a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Come to the point. That way when I'm on this side, it's a 1/4 inch away. All right, hopefully this last one fits in the throat space. It does. Now I need to grab a different ruler. I'm using Squiggy for the smalls and the 4-in-1 for the big, creating like a spider webby type deal. Oh goodness, fit. There we go. And now I'm gonna put the quilt back down a little bit so we could do some more custom quilting at the little spots. It's just pebbles and stuff, but we want it to fit in the frame of the machine. So I'm really only doing this little section between here and here, but it's a mixture of pebbles and swirls. right, now that I got to here, I'm gonna put the quilt back down again. Yes, it's a lot of moving back and forth, back and forth. Has there been any questions or anything? Or are they just watching?
Just watching.
Just watching. I know, it's mesmerizing to watch the quilting. At least I like watching quilting because it's mesmerizing to me. So I'm sure it's the same for others. I don't know how well you guys can see. See all those white threads? As I quilt, it's just getting worse. But I'll show you how I'm handling that. Yes, my Longarm has a stitch regulator, and I am using it at 10 stitches per inch right now. Huh? Yeah, that's the stitch regulator. It stops when I stop. So if I do a stitch right here, see, it stops. It stops. There's also a setting, idle, which, see the machine, the needle moves up and down when I stop. I don't use the idle very often, but I mean, it's great for stuff like this, but I don't use it because I stop so much that I don't want to like put a bunch of birds' nests in the quilt, so I'd rather just use precision mode. Can I what? When I wash it, will the white threads be less noticeable? Well, yeah, I don't even need to wash it. I'm going to make them less noticeable in just a second. Because I do it with every section as I finish. All right. So I'm going to break thread. And what I'm going to do is get rid of all those seams. So you can see all the white, all that. I have a fine tip tulip fabric marker, and I'm just dabbing right at each white. And when it dries, you don't even see the stitch or the line or anything. It gets rid of all of it. And if I have to get the ones that are like next to the black and the pink section, I just spread it open just a little bit to get those so that I'm not drawing in the pink. I'm just, it's a fine tip so I can get just the stitch that I see visibly. Ta-da. Okay, they're all cleaned up. And all this fuzz is from the batting, the cotton, I mean not the cotton, the polyester batting coming through. All right, now to tackle this block right here. Let's get it within my throat space. Yeah, it's the batting it's all over the place. I will pluck every single piece of the stick-through batting when I'm done with the whole quilt. Right now, I don't even bother with it. This looks like little fuzzes all over the place, but... Oh, that was the thread. Yeah, what I just covered up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm yanking on the quilt itself right now. Trying to get this flat. If you look right here, can you see that? This, I don't know how I'm going to get gone because this is the worst part of the whole quilt right here. But I'm going to square this block up. I'm holding it with my body. And I can't even get right here because this big, huge lump. So I'm going to tie it off and attempt, all right, to get over it. Excuse me. All right, here I go. trying to use my body to keep this nice and tight. Got in the blue and it won't stitch right here very well. All right. Go along this yellow. I gotta look on my other device real quick because I don't have, oh, it's just one. Okay. The pinks are the what has the two. Sorry, I was trying to remember my stitching for inside certain areas. I took a picture of the block after I stitched it so that I can refer back to the picture to remember what I did in each section so that I don't quilt the wrong thing. Hoping that the slower that I'm going, that the less the camera is shaking. No. So you can see I'm getting this pretty flat, which is what I want. Still a little bit of fullness. I'm going to push it that way. Puff it into the pink section because that's cool when those puff out. It looks nice. All right, back to the top. Now I'm going to stitch. All right, once I'm right here, these ones are closer together than the ones in the blue sections, so these ones get squiggy the whole way around. And now to quilt all this with pebbles and whatever else. But first, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to do 2 feathers in this one. So I go to about right here and then I'm gonna do some, see, I can stitch in the ditch pretty good without a ruler, in case you were wondering why I'm doing that. I'm gonna do a half one right here, where it's small. Echoing around it. And there, I have my 2 feathers in here now. So now I just need to fill it all in. Yes, I'm doing very, very tiny ones as well. It's all about just feathers and pebbles and some spirals and double pebble in this section. And then some swirls just for added looks. I'll do all down here and then move my way back the other way. It's not stitching right here. It's going to be sloppy because, as you can see, it's getting stuck. Got all that fullness. I got it. Obviously, I got it. I'm going to fill this in to make it look a little bit better. Follow that curve. Follow my curve. Ooh, needs a circle right there. And now going this way. And my pebbles are not perfect by no means. They look good though. It's my number one not liked thing to do in quilting is pebbles. But yet I keep doing it, you know? Just swirl right here. I need to make my way right here real quick. Put a couple right there. So you can see custom quilting takes a long while to do, and now you know why I charge up to 15 cents a square inch for custom quilting, because this is a lot of work. It's killing my hands. It's taking forever. So a quilt like this would have been 15 cents a square inch to quilt custom for somebody if it wasn't my own. But this is my own quilt because I purchased it for show. I thought it would be perfect for shows, but we'll see when it's done if it looks good. All right, that whole section is now complete. That's what it looks like. Doesn't that look awesome? I think so. I think it looks amazing. All right, while I'm here, I'm going to get all these threads. Right here. I do it at the section, or else I'm going to have to do it later, and I won't remember, you know, I'll miss a bunch of spots. So I do it while I can see them. All right, those are filled in. Now to do this corner. You can see it's got a lot of fullness. I gotta straighten it and work it in. Just lay kind of flat. I can leave the fullness in this section because these aren't getting a whole heck of a lot of quilting. So it makes it just a little easier to work through it. I'm just going to use this ruler for this curve. All right, and I'm going to start my pebbles that are in these sections. Huh? Black bobbin, black top thread, and then the black bobbin with the colored top threads as well. My tension is good right now, so it's usually never this perfect actually, but it's perfect enough to have the pinks, the yellow, the blue colors, everything, and it's working out perfect, which is very rare for me on this machine, but I got it like absolutely great. I mean, there's a couple spots you can see when I'm stopping and starting where the top thread, look, you can see it on the bottom, but that's just from starts and stops. Oh, come on. All right, that's done. That's just little pebbles in there. Now, I can't do nothing about this block yet because it's not fully in the throat space, and I can't stitch it down. See how it's really bad? I can't stitch it down until I have stitched down these sections. So I have to finish these sections first and then move on. And yes, this one is another big seam coming together right here. Let me grab a ruler for this. Just trying to re-straighten things back up again. Oh, it's really tough right there.
You'll get it.
Yep, I'll get it. So you can see I'm working all the fullness in by doing this. See, you can already see it starting to come down, and it's really, really still puffy in some areas, which makes it look really awesome. I'm just hoping it doesn't look all stretched or funky. I'm trying to keep everything as square as possible. Like I said, it's kind of hard with a quilt like this, though, to do that. Not like this as in this exact one, but the piecing of it. Not saying if, see, I got it in the yellow, darn it. Not saying that if I was to piece something like this, mine would be perfect, but okay, I'm leaving it. I'm not even gonna bother with that. I'm stitching yellow in that section anyway. I'll go over the black and it'll be fine. How many bobbins have I gone through? Probably 12 or 13 already. In a total, probably, I have a lot more to do with the borders and stuff, so probably 25, 30 bobbins, maybe. I don't roll mine completely full either, like other quilters do. My machine runs better if it's not a completely full bobbin. Okay, switch rulers. Now to fill all this in, I need to bring it down towards me though. That's really high up. My eyeballs can't do that right now. All right, I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick, guys. All right, here we go. This one I'll just do one feather in. Down here, right about here. What? What'd you say?
How do you like using the poly batting?
How do I like using poly batting? I love it. I love the puff of it. Like.
How do you keep it held down?
It's held down because it's on the long arm. How do I keep it held down? It's because it's flattened out on the long arm.
Same as any batting.
Same as any batting, yeah. All right. And no, they are not completely round on these. And then I kind of fill in all the sections. Not meant to be perfect, meant to be different. Sorry, I gotta rest my hands here and there because they hurt. Well, the one that's holding the long arm, I should say. Yes, this takes a bit to do. I can't really get a one right there, but we'll pretend. All right, did I get it all? I'm pretty sure I did. All right, let me grab my marker. Right here. I don't see anymore. This one was pretty good. It was the other one that was pretty bad. And the one that we're gonna have to come to, because you can see all this. This one is gonna be tough. All right, let me get this corner now. Let's use this ruler. More pebbles, more. Like, I'm telling you, this is pebbles gone wild here. Yep, this one I think I've done, too many. I still gotta do more. But they do make great filler when you're doing stuff like this, It works out great. Ta-da! That one is done. Now to move on to the outer edge. I'm trying to at least do one pass for you guys in this video. But I doubt I'm going to be able to. Yep. All right, so I'm going to go back as far as I can, right there. And we're going to work this corner in. Come on. Oh, am I out of bobbin? Oh, nope, there it is. All right, here we go. There's a thread in the seam right there. No, I'm good. Oh, there I go, stitching into the yellow. I'm totally trying not to do that, but come about right there. So you see, look at how this curved right there. Do you see it? That's none of my fault. This whole thing is straight along this side, but that right there is curvy. It's just the piecing. Oops, there I go, stitching in the wrong color again. Carefully, very carefully. All right, bring it up one more time. About there. All right, now I'm just going to tie it off. I'm going to do this first, and then I'll do the other parts of the black. Get rid of that right there. All right, go up to here. Oop, I'm not going to be able to. Oy, oy, oy. Right about there. Hopefully this will fit. Little by little, it's working. Okay, keep this ruler here, but grab this one.
What's the name of the ruler?
What's the name of what ruler?
The ruler you're using.
This one is a Piece and Quilt. Sorry, I have tape over it from marking lines by Natalia Bonner. It's Piece and Quilt. Right there. There you go. So you can find that online. This one is Squiggy from Angela Walters for its Creative Grids ruler. And then I'm also using for some of this a no-name ruler. That's a 4-in-1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And remember, these are long arm quilting rulers. They are not for piecing or, you know, cutting your fabric. There for long arm quilting. And to make sure it's a long arm quilting ruler, you need to make sure that it is a 1/4 inch thick. See? To sit against here. If you have anything that's not a 1/4 inch thick, it'll get stuck underneath this right here while you're quilting. And, well, let's just say you can break it and have lots of problems and break your machine. And you don't want that, do you?
No.
We do not want to break machines. And I have, as you can tell, snapped off the corner of a ruler. And that's, well, my fault from hitting the needle with it, because I sat it down and I hit the ruler base down, because there's a ruler base right here. See that line that I'm creating? So I hit the ruler base like this with the ruler, and I didn't even think to come back up, and I completely just needled over it, and it jammed and it shot the little piece around, but I taped it back on to remind myself not to do that ever again. All right, I'm going to quilt this side up. The only other thing I recommend when using rulers is not to have super long fingernails. So if you are one of those that get the really, really long ones done, long arm quilting is not for you. Because when I used to keep mine long, and I'd keep them about right here, I sewed through my nails several times on this machine, because, you know, when you're holding the ruler, those long nails will get in the way of your needle. So I do not recommend long, long nails when long arm quilting. Mine weren't even very long, and I had issues. I still feel like I get close to my fingernails. Oops, that was a very sloppy one. Oh well. I'm leaving it. I can tell when I'm starting to get tired. So I'll finish this section and I'll probably get off of here, because I'm really starting to feel the working too long on here. I try to do about an hour at a time nowadays. Well, lately. Sometimes I can work more than that, but lately I haven't been able to. Advance it.
How long have you been working on this quilt?
I've been working on this quilt for, well, what day did I load it? I don't even remember what day I loaded it. Hour-wise, just the machine running has ran for 5 hours and 40 minutes. It already has 213,458 stitches in it so far. But the machine running, see, like right now I'm still standing here, or when I'm doing whatever, getting ready to turn it, I'm still working. So technically I've probably been on this for 6 hours, or maybe 7 hours of total time. I don't remember what day I loaded it, but that's what I'm at so far of machine running, and how many stitches are so far in it. So it's a lot already on an 87 by 87 inch quilt, you know. But I've been getting really tired really easily, so I don't work as long. I'm doing about an hour at a time, sometimes less. And I didn't work on it for 2 of the days. It just sat here on the frame. that I didn't work on it because I didn't feel very good. Trying to get what I can done now though. And I'll probably work on it again later after my lunch and nap. Where'd I put my marker? Oh, there it is. Keep misplacing the marker and it just keeps running away on me. Just coloring in where you can see the white. See all that? I gotta color those in because if not, I won't end up doing it later. I don't see any more. All right. Oh. Ta-da. Clean up my pile of starting and stopping threads. And look, I can't even go over that certain way. Let's see. It has to be drug really hard. Some of those spots are just thick, like this one. Can't just run the machine across this quilt. So that's the quilting there. And the quilting here. Oh, I forgot to do the pebbles here. I gotta do that real quick. I knew I was forgetting something. One more area and then I'll stop. I did stitch it right. Yep, I already stitched the outside. So all I have to do is some pebbles. Oh, some, I mean a ton. Ta-da! Okay, and then there's that side. So the center will be really cool, and then the outer edges, if you guys want to see the outer edges, there is pictures posted in the Facebook group of my so far. So now what I'll do next, just so that you know, is I'll switch to, get past that thing, I will switch to steel blue color. Once I quilt all the steel blue, all these areas that have the steel blue, anywhere within my throat space, which would go all the way down to here, I will do all of the blue first, then I'll switch to robin egg, do all that, then I'll switch to pink, do all that, which includes doing here, and then I'll switch to yellow, which includes doing here. And then, oh, steel blue will be here, and then I'll do the whole center section. I don't think I'm going to be able to, I'll have to advance it to do right here, but I'm going to work this in, you know, so that this is not too funky, and then I'll try to smush this section out. I'll probably stitch right here first, just so that I can get the star part stitched because as you can see, it's very full right here. Like there is a lot of quilt right here. So that's what I'll do. Hold on 2 seconds. We'll pull the camera off of this mount. And then see the back. You can see the black stitches, and in some spots, it's fine. Like where I pull up thread right there, you can see a little bit of the pink, but other than that, the stitching is perfect back there. All right, let's put this here. So that's the whole quilt. Well, not the whole thing, but some of it. And I just got to work it in. I have a feeling that this is going to be really wavy when I get to it, because you could already see, even though it's blowing in the fan, you can already see that it has a lot of fullness that needs to be quilted up into it, but I will get it. I will get it. All right, any other questions before I go? And if I get a chance and whatever, then maybe I'll turn the camera on again. But right now, I need to rest, eat and rest. I did not make the top. I purchased it online. It was sight seen. I saw it on the picture. It looked great on the picture. And then when I got it here, I only opened it real quick enough to look at the colors. Oh, this is pretty. And then it kind of just hung in the closet. And I didn't know, because I hadn't laid it on a flat floor, to see all the puckering and stuff that was going on. And I didn't realize that there was white thread underneath that stitched it together in the black sections. I never do that. So make sure you follow that lovely tip of, if you're going to use black fabric, use black thread when you piece a quilt. But it is a gorgeous quilt. It's Amish style, and it's going to be super quilted when it's done. All right, guys, I'm going to get going and do my thing for the rest of the day, and maybe not. I'll turn the camera on when I work some more. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, bye, everybody. Toodles. Later. All right, where's the stuff? There, right there. Nope, I got it.